Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I got some bad news for my fellow Ukrainians. And I'm talking about the citizens. And I'm talking about the weasels who play their roles over there. The actors manipulated by their sponsors. And unfortunately they will kind of use some they will kind of lose some electricity, and that comes because Russia will connect Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant to Russia's controlled power grid in Crimea. So they're gonna take it from the southern Ukraine to Ukraine. That's according to what's this? Pravda, Ukrainska Pravda. This article comes from today, August 9th, 2022. Russia to connect Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant to Russian-controlled power grid in Crimea. Not good at all. Petro Kotin, president of the Energoatom, a Ukrainian state enterprise operating nuclear power stations in Ukraine, has said that Russia has begun implementing its plan to disconnect the Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant, ZNPP, from the Ukrainian power grid and to connect it instead to the Russian grid. The biggest nuclear power plant in Europe, and she's one of the biggest in the world, in the 10, I think is within the 10. Petro Kotin, that's the source, on air during 24/7 National Joint Newscast. Details. Kotin explained that Russia will attempt to disconnect the Russian-occupied territories in southern Ukraine from the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. So, wait a second. We'll attempt to disconnect the Russian-occupied territories in southern Ukraine from the Zaporizhzhia. So it is going to be their territory. The Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant will then instead be connected to the Russian power grid in Crimea. Okay, but still they're gonna distribute electricity to the occupied territory, which I'm thinking is Lugansk and Donetsk. Quote from Kotin: Rosatom staff. Rosatom is a Russian state nuclear energy corporation which is attempting to control the Russian territory ZNPP. So the Rosatom staff are implementing a special procedure that will allow them to reconnect the ZNPP to Crimea. One aspect of this procedure involves tampering with the power lines connecting the ZNPP with Ukraine's power grid. In order to ensure that the power produced at the ZNPP is relayed to Crimea, the entirety of southern Ukraine has to be disconnected from the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, including the Russian-occupied territories in Kherson and Zaporizhzhia Oblast. So it's not only that, it's also the southern Ukraine. The entirety of southern Ukraine has to be disconnected. Well, maybe they're gonna do something else. I don't know. Gonna give you energy when you pay. What do you think is gonna happen? That's gonna happen. This is spelled out in the procedure. Then they will connect those oblasts to the substation in Dzankoy, then to the Kakhovka substation, and then they will reconnect the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant. Yeah, so it's temporary right now, and then they just take over and incorporate it in their power grid. That's how war works, I guess. Following this procedure, it will be impossible to connect it, the Zaporizhzhia nuclear power plant, to the Ukrainian power grid, and it will be hooked up to Russian frequency. Yeah, that's gonna be changed. So then how are we gonna get it? That's what their plan consists of, and they've started to implement it. End quote. More details. Kotin added that as part of the plan, Russians have damaged 3 power lines over the course of the past 3 days. The power station is currently only supplying electricity to the Ukrainian grid via one power line. Background. On the evening of August 6th, the Russian military, okay, that's propaganda, I'm not going to reach that one, and then hospitalized people, because they were telling me that the Russian fired at themselves, and I'm not going to say that, because it makes no sense. I heard already that you remember when they all said, oh, the Russians are firing and explosions at Zaporizhzhia Nuclear Power Plant, the Russians are endangering the world. But wait a second. The Russian army has been controlling that since the 4th of March 2022. So that's some months ago. So who has the interest to drive the Russians away? Russians themselves? No, the Ukrainians. It's unbelievable. And they say, well, the Russians are doing what? They have control over it. They're doing what they're doing right now. They take over. So why would they hit themselves? Why would they make this? I mean, if they want, they just retreat, send a few missiles, explode everything, and then they destroy the world, right? Okay, now, baby, you go to bed. That's how you talk to a toddler, like they talk to us. Yeah, I mean, you have to be very retarded, below 86, way down, way below 86, to really bite these things like a fish, to everything they give you, you know, or any bite, any bait, I'm sorry. It's just unbelievable. It was normal. It's normal what's happening. They take over that, what are supposed to do? Let it have it? No, it's theirs now. And what are the Ukrainians do? No, we won't let you have it. You know, that's like that, remember that story, that biblical story. See? We can talk about the scriptures. When there's those 2 mothers, female women, who are fighting for the baby, for the child. Whose child is that? And then they go and bring it to the wise man or wise person. And he says, okay, what should I do? I said, I will cut it in 2 and give you half, and I give the other one a half. And the female, it was not the mother, said, yeah, I'm okay with that. So he got the kid and give it to the other one, because she said, no, just have her have it instead of cutting in 2. So the same here. Are the Ukrainians going to blow up the little baby here, or they're going to let those guys have it? Because if they blow it up, the whole world is going to be in danger, right? And we know how that works, you know, with the grain, now with this tricky situation. I'm not saying the Russians are entitled to do what they're doing, but what do you want them to do? Oh, we're going to give it to you. We go back to where? It's war. We started it now. We're going all the way. That's how they say. I mean, in their version is like this. You made us start this operation. We're going to complete it. Too late now for all this little hanky-panky. Thank you very much for... I'm sorry for the Ukrainians in the south. Definitely for the citizens, because of the decisions made in other chancelleries around this globe. I was about to say Europe. Nah. And these guys are... Anyway, when they're going to find out, it's going to be too late. And probably they know. And what are they going to do? Nothing. All right. Well, thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.